This changes everything. Because Landman Season 3 is not just coming back. It's coming back with a completely different game. The power has shifted, the rules are broken, and Tommy Norris is no longer playing safe. This time, he's building something of his own. And that's exactly what makes him more dangerous than ever. After everything that went down in Season 2, one thing became very clear. Tommy is done working under someone else's shadow. MEX is no longer his battlefield. That chapter is closed. But walking away doesn't mean escaping the consequences. In fact, it might have just opened the door to something even bigger and much more risky. Now, Tommy is starting from zero. A brand new company, a fresh beginning, and a team that he personally trusts. But here's the catch. When you start small, every decision matters. There's no safety net anymore. No big corporation to absorb the losses. Every deal, every risk, every move. It all lands directly on him and his team. And this is where things get really interesting. Cooper stepping in as president is not just a promotion. It's a test. A huge one. We've seen him struggle before. We've seen him make mistakes that could have cost everything. But now, he doesn't have the luxury of failure. This role demands leadership, confidence, and most importantly, control. Because if Cooper slips even once, it won't just affect him. It could bring the entire company down. At the same time, Tommy choosing to stay in the field instead of sitting behind a desk tells you everything about his character. He's not the kind of man who watches from a distance. He leads from the front. But leading from the front also means taking the first hit. And in this new phase, those hits could be harder than ever before. Then comes the backbone of this operation, Nate and Rebecca. Nate handling the finances means every dollar will be watched carefully. There's no room for careless spending, no room for blind risks. Everything has to be calculated, because one financial mistake at this stage, and the company could collapse before it even stabilizes. Rebecca, on the other hand, is not just handling legal matters. She's becoming the shield of this entire operation. She already proved how powerful she is when she managed to protect Cooper from a situation that could have destroyed his life. But Season 3 won't be that simple. This time, she won't just be solving problems. She'll be facing bigger threats that are harder to control. And let's not forget the rest of the team. People like Boss, Dale, Thomas, and Ariana. Each one of them plays a key role in making this company work. From running operations to handling drilling and exploration, everything depends on how well they perform together. Because teamwork isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Ariana finally getting a safer position as office manager might seem like a peaceful change. But in a world like this, peace never lasts long. And Thomas taking charge of drilling shows that the company is serious about growth. But growth attracts attention, and attention brings trouble. Because here's the reality. Tommy's new company might be small, but it's not invisible. There are people watching, people waiting, people who don't like the fact that Tommy is rising again. And that brings us to the most unpredictable part of Season 3. Cammy. After losing control and facing everything that happened with MEX, Cammy is no longer in a stable position. She's emotional, she's pressured, and most importantly, she has something to prove. This company meant everything to her. It wasn't just business, it was legacy. Now imagine this, a person who feels like they've lost everything, watching someone else rise from the same ashes. That's not just painful, that's dangerous, because Cammy has two choices. Either she lets go, or she fights back. And if she chooses to fight back, then Tommy's biggest challenge won't be building his company. It will be protecting it. Season 3 is not about comfort. It's not about easy wins. It's about pressure, risks, and decisions that could change everything in seconds. Tommy is stepping into a world where trust is limited, enemies are hidden, and success comes with a cost. And the real question is, how far is he willing to go this time? Now here's where things start to get even darker, because building a company is one thing, but protecting it from what's coming next, that's a completely different battle. Season 3 is not just about Tommy's rise. It's about the consequences that follow him. And the biggest storm forming right now revolves around one man, Cooper. On the surface, Cooper's life finally looks stable. He has power, responsibility, and for the first time, a clear direction. But underneath that success, there's a shadow that hasn't disappeared. What happened in Season 2 is not something that can be buried so easily. The man Cooper fought, the one who assaulted Ariana, may have died from a heart attack. But that doesn't erase what it looked like. And more importantly, it doesn't erase who that man was connected to. Because in a world like this, nobody is just a man in a back alley. He had partners, powerful ones. And those kinds of people don't just accept things and move on. They ask questions. They dig deeper. And when they don't like the answers, they look for someone to blame. And right now, Cooper is the easiest target. Even though Rebecca and Tommy managed to pull him out of legal trouble, that doesn't mean he's safe. It just means the problem has gone quiet, not gone forever. There's a difference. A big one. Because revenge doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it waits. This opens the door to a much more intense storyline. Imagine Cooper trying to lead a company while constantly looking over his shoulder, trying to stay focused while knowing that someone, somewhere, might be planning to take everything away from him. Not just his position, but his future. And then there's Ariana. Their relationship is finally in a good place. There's trust, there's healing, and even the possibility of marriage. A wedding could be one of the most emotional and powerful moments in Season 3. But at the same time, it could also be the most vulnerable moment. Because if someone wants to hurt Cooper, they won't attack him directly. They'll go after what he loves. And that's what makes this situation so dangerous. It's not just about business anymore. It's personal. While all of this is happening, another transformation is quietly taking place. Enninsley. Her journey might not seem as intense on the surface, but it's just as important. Moving into college, stepping away from her family, and choosing to live on her own. This is where her real story begins. She's no longer in her comfort zone. She's being exposed to a completely different world. And change like that doesn't come easy. Season 3 is likely going to explore her growth in a deeper way. We might see her struggle, make mistakes, and slowly evolve into someone stronger and more independent. But growth always comes with challenges, and sometimes those challenges connect back to the main story in unexpected ways. Because in a show like this, no storyline exists in isolation. Everything connects. And that brings us back to the bigger picture, the future of Tommy's company. Filming for Season 3 is expected to begin soon, following the same pattern as previous seasons. If everything stays on track, we're most likely looking at a release window in the fall, and if that happens, then the wait won't be as long as we think. But timing isn't the real question here. The real question is, what kind of story are we walking into? Because Season 3 is setting up something much deeper than just business drama. It's about power shifts, personal battles, hidden enemies, and decisions that could change lives in seconds. Tommy is no longer building quietly. He's stepping into the spotlight, and that spotlight attracts attention. Some of it good, most of it dangerous. Every character is standing at a turning point. Cooper is facing consequences. Ariana is stepping into a future that could be threatened at any moment. And Inslee is discovering who she really is. And Cammy, she's still out there, unpredictable as ever. And when all of these paths collide, there's no telling what will happen next. One thing is certain. Season 3 is not going to hold back. And when it finally drops, it won't just continue the story. It will change it completely.